Same Downeaster based, and you can just throw those right in. And we're making our own tails. That kind of, these are specific to raptors, but they work on other baits as well. If anybody ever, there's a tail shortage, there's a everything shortage, so we had to make our own, and I'm kind of making our own little creepy crawlers, if you will. Any questions before I start?
Do you actually have a creepy crawler machine that you're doing those on?
Or? No, but I mean, it reminds me of it when I'm working on it, you know. It looks just like creepy crawlers, so I was like, man. And naturally, I took over the job of that because I was so good at it from using creepy crawlers when I was a young man.
What's up, Yins guys? Welcome back to Fishing PA with Ryan Reed. Guys, in this video, I want to talk about a recent event here in the city of Pittsburgh. Guys, Musky Road Rules was in town. So Tony Grant and Gregg Thomas came back to Pittsburgh and brought us Road Rules. What Road Rules is an opportunity for Tony and Gregg to get really talented fishermen on board to come out and give us seminars. And these seminars kind of happen in like a small classroom type environment. Guys, Musky Road Rules is awesome. This is an opportunity for you to pick the brains of professional and extremely talented musky fishermen. Not only do you have the legendary Tony Grant and very talented Gregg Thomas, but in this particular event, they were able to get Vance Kalos and Jason Jackson in to talk a little musky fishing. So Tony Grant and Gregg Thomas have done so much for the sport of musky fishing. And really, you know, they've taken over Musky Hunter magazine and just made that magazine just that much better. These guys have been fishing for muskies for years and years and years. They have done it on a professional level as guides, and they have done it on a professional level at the PMTT Musky Tournament. The wealth of knowledge and experience that these two guys bring to the table, in addition to guests, is second to none. And this is why I love Road Rules. This is your opportunity to come out and pick the brains of these guys and really sit and listen to them talk about muskies and musky fishing. It's an opportunity to continue to learn and get better as an angler. Okay, in addition to the information, which is the absolute most important aspect to Road Rules, they do an absolute killer like giveaway type raffle thing, and there's opportunities for just general raffles throughout the entire event. Okay, so when you guys pay your $45 online or at the door, you typically get like a door prize for signing up. And this year, it was a stealth tackle leader. Okay, if you guys can see that, I don't know if you can, but if you guys can see this, it's a 12-inch, 174-pound solid leader. Okay, but leaders are not cheap. So this is cool. Like right off the bat, you're getting an awesome little thing as you walk into the door. Okay, in addition to that, again, with these raffles, they put your name on a little ticket, they throw it into a bucket, and they usually go through like 1 or 2 rounds of pulling tickets. And Gregg and Tony had an entire table set up with like lures and just like videos of Road Rules or Musky Hunter, just like random stuff that was just like super cool for you as a fisherman to pick up. Now there was some high-end baits on the table, like this one. Okay, we're gonna talk about this a little bit more here in a few minutes, but if you guys can see that, my friend, is a Musky Mayhem grenade. Okay, these baits are really hot right now and they're not cheap at all. They're really solid baits. And this is an example of what was on that table for those raffles. So not only does Tony and Gregg bring it from an information standpoint to make you guys better fishermen, but they bring you very cool baits like this because they have very awesome sponsors. Okay, so right now, it's important for me to just say, if any sponsors are watching this, you know, my measly YouTube video, if any sponsors are watching this, I just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting Tony and Gregg with this Road Rules stuff. It is absolutely amazing what you guys do, and it is just super appreciated, okay? For us as fishermen to come out and be able to do things like this and pick up baits like that, you know, as a free raffle, as a part of the event, it just makes it super special. And I just can't thank everybody, you know, enough for that. And we'll go through and we'll talk about some of the sponsors here in a few minutes. All right, so in addition to these like raffles and, you know, the leader, and you get this Road Rules packet, if you guys can see that when you walk in the door, this has got like kind of like the, you know, essentially like the what's going on, the instructors, what they're going to be talking about. This is just a cool little brochure. There's a lot of cool pictures in here. Like Jason Jackson, this is like a really sweet page here because it talks about the river fishing, which is what his seminar was about. So, you know, again, really well done. They give you this pamphlet. You can get there a couple minutes early, take a look at this, see all the sponsors, see a lot of cool gear in here. There's trips in here. You know, this is just a cool thing. Like, this is really well put together, really well marketed, and it just, again, it just like makes Road Rules even cooler when you have stuff like this. All right, so in addition to the raffles, addition to this stuff, we're super pumped about the spread of information here in these speakers. But another element to this, okay, is that Gregg and Tony, again, they own Musky Hunter magazine, and they bring some Musky Hunter gear out to Road Rules. So if you guys are looking for like sweatshirts, t-shirts, you're looking for hats like this one, Gregg and Tony have them at Road Rules. So if you like that sort of thing, like me, I'm always buying sweatshirts and hats. This is another place where you guys can come out, again, immerse yourself in musky fishing and pick up some cool gear. In addition to that, Tony Grant, you know, rattle baits. Tony's known for that rattle bait bite. Cave Run's known for that rattle bait bite. He had a couple of rattle baits. He used to make these baits. Now Lungin is making them. I typically buy these from Tony when I do buy them. He's talked to me so much about rattle baits, and I've caught so many fish on rattle baits. It's just a special thing for me to like go and pick out a couple new rattle baits at Road Rules and just kind of enjoy that opportunity to talk to Tony. One other thing here, guys. Again, gear. One thing Road Rules is really good for is if you guys are in the market for a net. Gregg and Tony had nets there, and they were like the Drifter Predator series nets. Like, these were really good nets. Like, they had the XL and the XXL. These nets were like $50 cheaper at Road Rules than they are online. Plus, you don't have to pay for shipping. So if you guys were in the market for a net and you were at Road Rules, it was another opportunity to pick up some gear and save some money. Again, these are the types of things that make this thing special, right? You're immersing yourself in the musky world and you're learning and you get an opportunity to look at gear. This is the thing that I love about Road Rules. I love this about all of our shows like Musky Max, but I really love it in a small classroom type environment with all this cool stuff to look at. It's a super awesome thing, and I'm super thankful that Gregg and Tony come out to Pittsburgh and put this thing on for us. All right, so the meat and potatoes of Road Rules was obviously the seminars. Again, opportunities to learn from very talented fishermen. Okay, first up was Mr. Vance Kalos from Muddy Creek Fishing Guides and Fat AZ Musky Products.
But this is what we're going to be talking about. Repeat after me. Big rubber, big water, big waves, open water, big fish. Buy this now, buy, spend. Anybody interested in that? No? Okay. I am going to be talking about on-boat communication and building a healthy inner circle of communication on your boat. There's a lot of new people that come into the industry.
Now guys, Vance took a really different approach to this one. And I actually laughed a good bit because a lot of this stuff that he talked about hit home for me. You guys know when you're involved in social media, it's really easy to get tangled up in like wrong groups of people. With that said, Vance's approach was on the boat communication and building a better angling experience. Okay, that was really interesting when I saw this. Vance focused on building your inner fishing circle. He talked about netting and the net job. He talked about pros and cons of the group chat, and he focused on truth, trust, and the payoff. Okay, this was super interesting because, again, I've been living some of this stuff. You know, finding the right fit for you in the musky community. Okay, the musky community can be very cliquish. There's lots of different groups of people. And sometimes the musky community could be like navigating a field of landmines. Okay, bottom line. It's a small, close-knit community, and there's a lot of different groups of people within it. I just thought this was interesting. You know, Vance made a couple of really good points. He talked about, you know, scenarios where you like hang a fish on the net, you know, what to do, how to react, different things you can do as a team to better communicate and basically work together to catch more fish. I had an experience last year, and thankfully Charlie doesn't hold this against me, but I had an experience last year where I went to net a giant fish off the back of Charlie's boat, and I basically got it hung. The fish was in the bag, got caught on the rim, and flipped right out of the bag. And I didn't have an answer. You know, the weight of the fish and the angle, I botched it. Okay, it happens. I learned from it. You know, it's just one of those things where you've got to do it. And like Vance said, there are things that you can do to mitigate that ahead of time. And it's all based on communication. So it really got me thinking, and that is a positive when you come away from a seminar. So I just want to say, Vance Kalos, if you watch this, great job on that seminar. I really enjoyed it. I think everybody enjoyed it. It was just a different approach. We really appreciate you coming down to Road Rules and your time there. Just a super cool thing to have in Pittsburgh. All right, guys, so another very cool thing about Musky Road Rules is the new product showcase. What the heck is a new product showcase? Well, every year, vendors, which are also sponsors to Road Rules, put out new lures and new products. Okay, the showcase is one of those things that gets displayed on a table, and there's just like a lot of new gear there. Okay, this is a really cool thing because, again, before Musky Max, if you didn't have a chance to make it to Ohio, before Musky Max, you guys can come out to Road Rules, you can pick that stuff up, you can play with it, you can get a feel for it, and you can really just kind of contemplate if it's something that you want to pick up to fish that year. So the new product showcase, I think that's pretty cool. And not only was it cool, but Gregg actually took his time and worked through every single product at Road Rules. So we got probably like a 15 to a 20-minute spiel just on new products and the new product showcase. All right, guys, next on the seminars was Tony Grant. And then again, anytime Tony talks, you need to listen. He's been doing this for a really long time.
But you got to make sure you got a pretty decent hook. But that all goes to having this flimsy rod, 50-pound test line, about a 75, 90-pound just small leader. And it keeps all that stuff from breaking. Basically, you're not giving it, guys will do this, and I'll see them get a rattlebait bite, and they get one of these like they would as a big suic or a big bulldog or something. Usually I'm going like this because I know what's getting ready to happen. That bait's getting ready to shoot right back at my head. So
it was really cool because Tony kind of talked about a couple different things. He talked about gear. He talked about the jig ripper. He talked about how you preserve your body to fish a long day for muskies. He talked about rod and reel combos. He talked about, different baits. He talked about his rattle baits. He gave us like particular degrees of water to look for that specific bite. He talked about downsizing baits. He talked about rattle bait tactics. He talked about leaders. Which type of leaders go with which type of baits. Tony talked about structure fishing, where to look for things like laydowns and trees and banks. And he talked about, different applications of different baits. Again, these are just fun to listen to because you're sitting there and you're thinking the whole time like, this guy has caught way more muskies in his life than I probably ever will. And he's giving you like keys to how to catch these fish. I took a ton of notes. I did. I took notes. Like, I am a nerd. I'm a super nerd when it comes to this stuff. I took more than a couple of notes for that seminar. I thought it was really good. I thought it was informative, and I just really appreciated Tony taking the time to do that. So again, Tony Grant, thank you very much for the opportunity to listen to that stuff. I feel like every time I hear one of Tony's seminars, I come away with at least a handful of bullet points that will make me a better fisherman. All right, so in between Tony and Jason, we took a lunch break and they pulled some raffles. Okay, so again, going back to the beginning, you fill your little ticket out, you put it in the bucket, and they call your name, and you go up to the table where all the raffle prizes are, okay? Again, super special, guys. Like, this is so cool that they do this. So we're sitting there. Dan gets to go up. He picks a bait. A bunch of other people get called. And truthfully, like, this isn't a huge deal to me because I have so many lures. It was really cool seeing like some of the young guys, the young kids that were there. Our new vice president of Chapter 16, Muskies Inc., Gary Andreas, had his kids there. It was just super cool to see Tony hand them baits and get them going. Like, those are the things that I really enjoy and I really truly love seeing. But like, I had an opportunity to get a bait in this raffle. So I walked up to the table, and if you guys saw my Ohio video, Jake Baddock, okay, the Baddock brothers out in the Midwest there around Indianapolis. Jake and Joe, we had them on the Musky Hunks podcast. I am continuously sending the wrong brother, the wrong messages. They are just like one entity at this point. But Jake Baddock was out at the Ohio Muskie Show on day 2, and he was at the Stealth Tackle and the Musky Mayhem booth, and he had some of these baits, okay? And this is a Musky Mayhem grenade, okay? This bait right here, super cool bait. The head of the bait is actually here. You have your line tie and some lead. You guys can see that. Got a big skirt on it. It's got hooks throughout it, and it's got the blades on the back. Jake showed me this exact bait at Ohio. Like, this might have even been the one that like he took out that I took a picture of him like pretending to eat. Like, this might have been the exact bait. Definitely the same color. You know, these baits are relatively new, but from my understanding, they were on fire. You know, I think it's the profile. I think it's the flash. I think it's the blades. I just think Musky Mayhem is probably one of the best just lure making companies, probably one of the most well-known lure making companies. So this was on the table. I grabbed it. I was super pumped about this. It was just like a cool thing to walk away with. All right, guys, next up on the seminar was Jason Jackson.
And he's going to give us a little up and down about some river fishing. So give a little applause, get going. Jason Jackson.
So we fish a lot of rivers, and I'm going to kind of divide this into big rivers and mostly smaller rivers. And there's just a few things that we've been doing on smaller rivers that have kind of given us advantage that I feel like I'd like to share with you all. So maybe when you do find yourself on rivers, you can try some of these things.
Kind of more of a local fisherman to us, like West Virginia. I'm only like 45 minutes away from West Virginia here. Jason catches a ton of giant fish. Guys, I was super pumped about this because Jason is like just so down to earth. He's an awesome speaker, and he absolutely brought it when it came to his seminar. So Jason's seminar was on river fishing. He talked about how to pick a river. He talked about river locations, time of the year, temperatures, conditions, how to fish locations like eddies, current breaks, weeds, timber, humps, creek channels. He talked about boat placement and lure selection. Dude, this seminar was super technical, but it was like light, down to earth technical. He explained things so well. He went above and beyond, in my opinion. And in all honesty, I feel like this was one of the best seminars I've ever listened to. Not even kidding you guys. I'm not blowing sunshine. Jason Jackson absolutely knocked this thing out of the park. And I thought it was super cool too, because he started his seminar before he got into the river fishing. He started his seminar with a demo on how to kind of try to mitigate a fish that was hung on the outside of the bag. I've heard about this tactic. Charlie tried to explain this to me, but it's just sometimes when you're on the boat after things happen, you don't get it. Jason actually took one of those drifter nets and he just showed us like how you would basically flip it around and try to bag a fish that's hung on the outside. This was amazing to me. This was an awesome demo. Then he goes directly into a stellar seminar on river fishing. Guys, I took, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I took 9 pages of notes for Jason's seminar. 9 pages of notes. And in here, there was a section that I really thoroughly enjoyed. And he literally took the example of a creek mouth and he showed you how he would approach fishing it, where he would approach fishing it, different types of situations, how he would fish it. He talked about different types of gear. He talked about bait selection. Dude, I'm serious. Like, he knocked this thing out of the park. It was absolutely awesome. So I don't know that Jason will actually watch this video. You know, I just, again, like, I'm a bum. I just post this stuff for fun in hopes that somebody that's interested in an event like this sees it and goes out and has the opportunity and the same experiences I've had and just continues to learn and grow as a fisherman. That's why I do this. I try to promote this stuff. I try to show you guys how awesome they can be. But, you know, if Jason saw this, I just want to say thank you, Jason Jackson. Dude, you're an awesome human being. You're an amazing fisherman. You're somebody that these young guys, the future, you're somebody they can look up to and learn from and get into the sport. It's just a really cool thing. And I was just like super excited and super pumped after that. Because again, I felt like I learned something, and I felt like I learned a lot, actually. I learned a lot from that one. And I feel like I'm a better fisherman. I walked away from Road Rules a better fisherman. So Jason Jackson, thank you very much for the time coming down and sharing your seminar with us in Pittsburgh. All right, guys, so after another set of raffles, we got into the last seminar of the afternoon. And the last seminar was Gregg Thomas talking about trolling basics.
Through the prop rod, and then next I go to clear the out rod. The other guy in the boat, partner in the boat, he goes ahead and starts clearing the other side. All right, the other thing with trolling, and I don't know how other guys feel about it, but for me personally, I'm way more comfortable. I don't stop the boat. I don't like to throw the boat into neutral. I still like to keep the boat idling forward, because I think it adds some tension on the fish. It helps keep the fish coming in one direction. I don't like just stopping, because one, if it's windy, the boat can get turned real wonky. If the boat is, if someone accidentally hits the wheel or something, I don't like stopping the boat. Once we get the fish in the net and everything, that's fine, then stop it.
I just thought this was, again, you know, Gregg, whenever he talks, you listen. He's been doing this for a really long time. And he's one of those, like, again, speakers that are just super down to earth. It's super fun. He makes things fun. It's enjoyable. It's entertaining. And it's just, again, it's another cool opportunity to learn from him. So what he talked about in this particular seminar was trolling basics. He talked about equipment selections, rod, reels, rod holders, boat setup, leaders. He talked about presentations like boat rods, planer board setup. He talked about the way he sets up his spread, which I thought was interesting. And then he kind of got into some more advanced topics like electronics. He talked about wire line. Should probably bleep that one out.
Two things that I really, really like. I would encourage everybody, though, to try wire to get into it. At least try one rod with wire on it. They do make copper. You know, you'll go looking for it and you'll see a lot of stuff about copper wire. Copper's a little thicker. It's more for getting more depth. It's also more like a lead core line as far as like weight and stuff like that. Just the straight Mon-El wire is good. Vance, do you guys ever run wire up there?
I do not use wire.
Yeah.
Did in Canada.
Yeah.
But not on stock.
Not on stock, well, yeah. But
It's a pain. I'll agree with you.
oh,
What he said.
wire hates you. Trust me, it will hate you. It loves to hate you.
Yeah.
But I've just done so well with it that too many times. I think on St. Clair when we were there,
Oh yeah.
we had a lot of fish come on wire.
Oh, yeah. I know guys that are doing this and having great success with it, but Gregg focused on wire line, like how to set up wire line. He talked about like different things like the twilly. There's just all these like cool little tips and tricks that he gave you with wire. When it comes to guys like Gregg, like again, these are opportunities for you to learn so much from them in this small venue and ask questions and just pick brains. And I just think he did such an awesome job with this. I picked up probably, I don't know, maybe 4 pages of notes there, which is, again, like I walked away from his seminar feeling like I could get better at trolling just by listening to Gregg. Well, guys, I went out to Road Rules and the goal was absolutely accomplished. I walked away a better musky fisherman from these seminars and the opportunity to talk to these professional musky anglers. There is nothing like being in a small classroom environment to talk to these guys one-on-one. Nothing like it. It's awesome. In addition to that, I picked up a couple of cool new rattle baits to throw this spring. I got an awesome door prize raffle. If I could pull this thing off of this little crate. 19 hooks on this thing. I can't even get it. We're going to let it go. So I picked up an awesome door prize on that. Really cool stuff. Picked up a couple of hats. You can see that. I actually really like this black one. I wish I didn't have like such an odd shaped head though. These like kind of fit me a little weird, and it's not the hat, it's my head. But again, like door prize is like the leader. You know, it's all about the information. So guys, you know, I have so much respect for Tony and Gregg, and I just really am thankful and appreciative for all they do for the musky community and for really fishermen like me to put these events on to really help you learn and grow as a musky fisherman. This is February. You know, this happened in February. We've been frozen all winter because of the cold. I haven't been doing a lot of fishing, so I've been looking forward to stuff like this, these events. You know, these are the types of things that get me through winter and into spring so we can start fishing. So guys, like listen, if you are looking to get better as a musky fisherman, if you are looking for an opportunity to talk to these professional anglers, pick their brains and learn as much as you can, and also come out and look at some cool like musky hunter gear, pick up some cool baits, win door prizes, you know, this is an event for you. Absolutely, hands down, Road Rules is premier, and I'm just super thankful they come to Pittsburgh. So really quick, guys, I want to thank all of the sponsors for Musky Road Rules. I want to thank B&N Custom Tackle, Musky Innovations, Moorhead Tourism, Chaos Tackle, Lungin Lures, Vexen Rods, Musky Mayhem Tackle, Plug Lures, Lax Reproductions, Outdoor Grips, Drifter Tackle, Thorn Brothers, Stealth Tackle, and Smitty Baits. Also, there were some partnering sponsors like Red October and Fox River Valley Chapter 39 of Muskies Inc., as well as D-Long Lures. Guys, this is important. Like, I can't thank these sponsors enough because they allow Gregg and Tony to do this stuff and to get us awesome gear at an awesome event. So I guess to wrap this up, guys, you guys need to check out Road Rules in your local area next year. Go out there, put it on the calendar. I had a couple people say, hey, I forgot about this. I didn't realize it till I saw you posted your FYI video. You know, it's like one of those things. Put this thing on your calendar, get it scheduled, get excited about it, feel good about it, because you're going to come away being a better fisherman. So bottom line, guys, Greg Thomas, Tony Grant, thank you guys for all you do for the musky community. Thank you for doing Road Rules. Thank you for doing the Road Rules podcast. Thank you for giving us an awesome event in the dead of winter to be immersed and surrounded by muskies and musky fishing. I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are awesome, and you're just amazing fishermen that guys look up to, and I just couldn't be like more stoked about being at this event. Special thanks to Vance Kalos and Jason Jackson again. You guys made this super special this year. And again, thank you to all the sponsors that do this. So guys, check out Musky Road Rules next year in your local area. All that's left to say is I will see yins at Musky Max. Tight lines until Saturday.